Today's the day, the big day. Finally tested the 300 for the first time, like really riding it. I got gummy tires on it, that's good. So I have some good traction. Yeah, basically it's all stock. So we're testing with Uncle Greg is gonna be there and Michael. The best part is Mike requested one of these stickers, a "Your Mom Likes My Bike" sticker, and he's gonna put it on his mom's bike. So how cool is that? Okay, let's see how this all pans out. Hey, how are you? I'm Dave. Well, I've been spending some time now with my 300 XCW, kind of going through things just like a general person would when they buy it. Hey, they just want to go ride it and see what's up, kind of assess the situation on the whole bike. And I've never had this bike, and a lot of the things that we do, I personally haven't tried myself on this bike. I've relied on others. I've always had the XC, completely different platform though, with the motor and the whole bike and so forth. So the way things react are absolutely different. And it's really fun to figure things out. Got about 100 miles on it now. And at this point, all I have is I've got my gummy tires for my traction. All I've done is change the spark plug, done the ECU mapping, done the reed strips, and excuse me, done the oversized exhaust valve cover and the handlebar rubbers. So look at the spooge that's come out of the pipe. Pretty good. Haven't washed the bike, so it's just been kind of dusty out. Yeah, zoom in on the spooge because a lot of people are worried about that. They don't like that. You can look down at the brake caliper and the swing arm. You can see there's nothing there. That's actually pretty good. If that's a concern, I have the oil injection on it still. I like it and I don't want it to go out. Don't want it to fail, but if I want to go on bigger trips, of course, it sure is nice to just pull up to a gas station and get gas. So I'll see what I'm going to do there. Also, if I switch over to the other ECU, the race ECU from the SX or the XC bike, it is more aggressive. It will make this thing more aggressive, especially down low than our reprogramming on the XCW thing, because we try to kind of keep our customer base in mind. It might be too aggressive after I'm done with all this stuff for the off-road riding. And also, of course, I would have to switch to premix because that doesn't run the oil pump in it. So what did I do so far? Well, before I even left out riding, I was just tooling around in the yard, getting ready for everybody. And, it was all warmed up and everything. And I'm just playing around with things and going, yeah, it's kind of lackluster on the throttle response. So I took the stock BR7EX plug out, the fat electrode plug, and I put the iridium plug in it. It's got the skinnier electrode, and by all intents and purposes, that will sharpen up throttle response. You can see the difference between the two right here. Did it work? Yeah, it worked a little bit. And then past that, I wanted to try the plug that I normally sell, which is the BKR7E. It's an extended length plug. It's a V-Power plug. The ones we used to always use it, Kawasaki racing in the two-stroke days. And because the electrode is extended down, that brings the point of ignition, which is the spark, of course, closer to the air fuel, which is on top of the piston. And because it's closer to it, even though it fires off at the same time, it's closer to it, so it in effect advances ignition timing. It starts the combustion sooner, and then of course it would end sooner, which is basically your textbook definition of advancing ignition timing. And that a lot of times will increase response. You got to watch what you do because that could get you in trouble with too much ignition timing. But on this thing, boy, it really worked. So I switched that around, and that took it up another notch of spunkiness. So we went out riding with that off onto this road. But you can see the difference in spark plugs here to see what I'm talking about. Then we went down this road, started off down this road. Mike calls it the jiggery road because there's just a bunch of embedded rocks in the road. I don't think the video necessarily does it justice. Semi-rough, and as a general rule, they're not moving. But the thing is, they don't stick up very big, and we've all come down, those roads where the suspension doesn't even stand a chance. It's not up and down bumps like going over jumps, right, where suspension works in an up and down plane. This is the wheel catching on a bump and you lurching forward. So the only shock absorption you really have is in your tire compliancy and do any kind of handlebar mounts. Well, these mounts are hard mounted on these XCW bikes. So that was very apparent going down that road, that all the shock's going through your hands. So turned around, went back home, and replaced it. They just come out of the bottom here. You just take the bolts out of the bottom. This assembly comes off. You'll see the tapers in the top. Here's the pictures of it. And then you simply take the rubbers, slide them in place, put it back together. See, you can see some kind of, see that flex? It's nice to have that every time you hit a bump. Little flex forward and rear changes everything. So that's all it was done the first day out. This spark plug and these little rubber bumpers. 60 bucks for these things, and whatever this thing is, $8-9. That's a hell of a difference in comfort and response for 70 bucks. And you're not gonna go backwards on these things. So start there. If you have these, if you have this model, again, if you've got this model range, but you don't have the XCW or the EC, these rubbers will not work. Spark plug still will. Okay, thanks for watching this one. Next time, ECU and gearing.